Hi everyone, welcome back to Raptor's Garage, and I'm still working on the disco. Right, let's go through what I've actually done while the camera's been off. Not a lot, nothing. I've been working, so not much has changed since the last time I turned the camera off. There's a couple of bits. I've had a couple of hours in the week to get some bits done, and I'll show you what those are. But basically I've put some seam sealant on the back door to glue the top panel in, and I've cut the roof beams out that I welded in, which was a pain in the arse. They did not want to come back out, and I'll show you why I've cut them out. Now, like I just said, I've put some seam sealant in this, basically body seaming mastic, just to glue this back into place. So that's all back in now, so that's all good and solid, even though the door's not shut. There we go. So that's all in now. There's no rubber behind it, so that's why there's a bit of flex in the top of the door, but that's all back together, welded, done. Now, as I was just saying, this is all welded, so these bits of the three cuts that I had to put in the door are all welded up, and that's all glued back in. So these are ready for some filler, just to smooth out where I've welded. The sides I've actually done and ground flush and flush welded. The back I've put an extra little piece of metal in to give it a bit of strength, because obviously it was cut all the way through. So I've ground the edges up and I'll just run some filler in that. The top has got like an end section welded in to give the top of the door strength, and the other side's the same. So door is done bar paint and filler. So that's finished. That's great. That's the bit I thought was going to be the hardest, and it actually turned out to be fairly straightforward and easy. So it's alright. I can't open the doors today, so I'm really limited to space to film, because it's absolutely bucketing it down outside. Let me show you what I've done on the inside. Now, I know that's not the best shot in the world, but that's where I put the top of the door frame back in. That's all welded in. That's done top and bottom. I'll show you from the inside as well. And hang on. Those corners are welded on the outside, bar the little filler piece. Now, that also went in really easy, and I'm amazed how well the door fits and seals. So I'm quite pleased with that. But so basically the back section's finished. Let's have a look from the other side. We're inside the vehicle and I'm standing up in it because there's no roof. But there's the top of the door frame, the original part. I've still got to close the top of these boxes up and join them in. So I've got to put a closure piece in here and just close that up and make it a bit stronger. To give some added strength to this, because it's been cut, I've welded this piece of 20, I think it's 25 by 50 mil 3 wall box in. Now that's permanent, that is welded in across the frame, so from that side to that side, that's welded in to the actual top of the frame of the truck, which is here. This is where your seat belt's attached. This is one of the strongest pieces of the body, so it's actually welded to that. So that's got to have a closure plate put in. So that's the top, and that's the inside. So close your plate both sides to join that together, and like I said, that's all welded in and done and sorted, and that's joined to that. So I know how I'm going to do the interior, so that's actually going to have lights mounted to the bottom of it when it's all finished and trimmed. Now where I had all the those rails welded in, which was here, I've taken them all out, and I've taken them out all the way along. Because I'm going to actually change what I was going to do. So they're all gone, and we're going to do something slightly different. We had a bit of a think about it in the week. Let me get out and I'll talk to the camera. Now, my original plan was to make this roof completely flat. So from this edge here to the other side, a completely flat roof. And we've looked at doing this. Me and Karen have sat down. We do actually sit and consider what we're doing and how things are going to work. And we've decided to not put a completely flat roof on. What we want to do is put a roof with a very, very slight crown in it. Now, it's easy to do, but I couldn't do it with those flat rails that I'd put in, because obviously the flat rails are flat, and I want a crown in it, so I want to crown the roof. Only very, very slight crown in the roof, just so that the water sweeps off. But because I'm going to put a crown on the roof, I can't mount the roof tent to it because it needed to be flat. And you'll say, well, that's why you cut the roof off, was to mount the roof tent. Well, it was. The reason I'd use those heavy box sections was to actually make a frame, so basically an internal roof rack, and bolt everything to it through the roof. And we thought about this, and we thought, we're going to end up with it leaking. No matter what we do and how we thought about it, we could do it, and it was a lot of work to actually make them so that they would be watertight. So we're going to build a new roof, and I'm going to use much thinner. I'm going to use 20 by 20 by 2 mil box that I can make the ribs for the roof. So I'm going to put those across, and then I'm going to skin it with the new metal. So it's going to have a very, very low roof without that big hump that comes all the way up to here, with a slight crown so the water sweeps off. Then we're going to take the original roof rack, and we're going to chop that all the way down till it's only a couple of mil off the top of the roof in the centre, and put it all back on. So the truck's going to be, we sort of think it's going to be between 150 and 170 mil lower, maybe a touch more, maybe 180. But that's going to make a big difference to the centre of gravity, and we will be saving weight as well. We are going to shed a few kilos off that because of the size of the brackets that are on the roof rack are immensely heavy, and they're going to all be shaved down. I'm going to actually save all the metal up and weigh it and see how much we actually save, but it's going to be a few kilos. So that's the plan. We're going to put a slightly crowned roof in, and I'm going to go and get Karen, who's going to help me because Chris is not here today. And we're going to get this ground up, and then we're going to start making the ribs, and I'll show you as we start putting these ribs in. We're up here on top of the truck now, and I'm starting to get the ribs in for the new roof. Now, these ones here were the ones that I've cut out. I'm just using them for level at the moment. So that's where, actually that's sitting a little bit low, I'll actually pack that up. But that's going to be my centre level to work to. Now I've made one that come this way. I've made one of these front ones with a bow in it. Now, how well that shows up on camera, but that has got a very, very gradual bow in it, which matches, well, it doesn't actually match, it's actually slightly higher than the front edge of the roof up here, because I want this, the new piece of roof to run down to that, and then I'm just going to put the same bow. Each one's going to have to be made individually though, because this, well, I fell over. This top rail here has a slight curve in it, so each one's got to be made slightly different, and we're only talking millimeters different, but each one's got to be made slightly different. But that's the first one in. It's not welded, I've just left it sitting there for level at the moment. But yeah, that's going to be good, that's going to work well. Just that little bit of a crown gives you a tiny little bit more head height. I think it's 20 mil. It's 20 millimeters in the centre there. But funnily enough, that will make a big difference when you're in the car. Yeah, you can. I don't know how well you can see that. That one has that gradual curve in it. Right, I'll get on with making the next one. That's the new roof in place, sitting on the beams that we put in this morning. You see it's got that slight crown in it, more factory looking than just flat, but there's loads of headroom in here. The gap that's up on the front edge will go once it's all welded in place. But yeah, we've just got to scribe round that because this is an oversized sheet of steel, so we've just got to scribe round it and cut it to size and then start tack welding it in. Once it's actually cut, we're going to actually put some bonding adhesive across those beams and glue it into place as we weld. So basically it's never coming off again. Well, I hope it's not coming off again because I ain't doing it twice. Right, centre of this door again, the same place as last time on the other side. It needs really pushing out. Right, can you push on that? I finally got this finished last night. The camera, well, this GoPro that I'm using went flat, but that's half the roof done. It's got that gentle curve in it that I wanted. It's only a 20mm curve over the entire lot, but that's plenty for the water to run off. The back bin isn't done yet at the far point over there. That's why it's sagged down, there's no bracer under that. I'm going to get the hole punch tool out and I'm going to punch some holes in that right now. So I'm going to find where I've put that and punch some holes in it. Now I've got to go and search through all the toolboxes and look for the hole punch. Well, you've just seen me pop out all the holes in the roof with the hole punch ready to spot weld the joining piece in, and I've just sat and cut all these plates out. They're not just number ones, they are actually the shape plates for the back door and the roof. They're 2mm plate, and I've just done them on the new 6-inch bandsaw. This thing is awesome. I can't tell you, well, I don't know why I waited so long to get one of these. It doubles as a vertical bandsaw, so you can do the fancy cuts, and it'll cut up to 6-inch wide pieces, 4.5 inches deep. It's like, this is going to be invaluable on the next truck build. I tell you, this is going to make life so much easier and save hours of grinding, because we can just set this going, cutting angles, and just leave it to it. But right, I'm going to spot weld the piece on the roof now and get these welded in. And we're nearly done. We've nearly got a full roof. By the end of the day or tomorrow, I am going to have a roof on my truck, which is going to be awesome. Right guys, we're back on the roof of the truck. I'm just going to weld this extra lip in. Now I could have done it by putting a joggle edge in, just a step edge, but I wanted to do this because I still want to, if you crimp the edge it's going to be hard to get the curve in, it might be a bit of an issue, and this is going to be easier to do, so I'm just going to spot weld this in, all these hundreds of spot welds, if I can get my welder up here. I can just do that. Right, a little bit of a catch-up video guys. I've been a bit busy. I got carried away actually. So I've welded those top plates in, like I said. That's 2mm thick plate. That's not the best shot in the world because it's not really bright on the screen. There you go. That's 2mm plate. It's welded into that, into that, into that. You know, it's not going anywhere. Same the other side. And I'm just welding a cover plate in the corner. That's just 1mm plate. For the roof's going to come along here. I'm not actually going to cut the roof round. Basically, so I've got I can see this edge because it's really difficult. It's going to be really difficult to get seam sealant in. So I can I've actually seam welded this piece in, and I'll cut the roof round it, and then I can get some filler in as well, some fiberglass, just to make sure this corner doesn't leak. It's the only place where I'm going to struggle to actually get sealant in. The rest of it's dead easy. Oh, I've done this as well. These are all ground up now. This is ready to have the bar put in across there. And then there's another one going to go here. So they're ready to go. They're ready to be cut and made. So I'm just going to finish welding this in. This top plate wherever I've just put it. There we go, hang on. And I'm just going to weld that in. Do the same as I did the other side. And that's where we're up to. But I don't think it's going anywhere in a hurry. I think it's going to end up heavier than when I started. Apparently Karen needs to go to the loo guys, so see you in a bit now. And there she goes. We've got the A-team in, so Karen's been here. Where are we up to? You've seen the bits that I've welded on there, and I've just put these 2 new crossbars in. So these are going to give me my shape to the roof. That's going to come up and match that one. There you go. So they're just the same as the other ones I put in. It's a piece of box section that's been chopped in 2, and these are welded in. And now we're just going to put the new sheet of metal on and cut it to size. And this job is getting very close to being finished. Well, at least the welding side of it. There you go, guys. The roof is, well, kind of on. It's just sitting there at the moment. It's not welded because obviously I wouldn't want that gap in the middle. But yeah, it fits and it works pretty much bang on with that 20mm curve in it. Once that's painted, you'll never know the difference. Let's go and have a look at the back. That centre line where you can see the light there, that's obviously where it's going to be pushed up and joined. That's where we put the extra seam in. But, you can have a look up there. So all I've got to do now is make this piece here. Got to sort the angle out in that and make a new piece to go in there. But other than that, it's all good. That won't take me long tomorrow. I'm going to finish welding tonight. Let's turn that round. I'm going to finish welding tonight. That's me done. Well, the clocks have gone back today, so I have no idea what time it is. It's gone dark. But no, that's coming together well. I quite like that. I know there's a lot of people who are like, why have you done it, and this, that and the other, but to get that height down and lower that centre of gravity, that centre of gravity drop makes all the difference. Even shaking the vehicle right now, I can actually feel the difference in it. So yeah, right, I'm going to finish this tomorrow. See you later, guys.